People who watch my videos seem to enjoy seeing me, how do I put this, going into the unknown, and that they want honesty and the truth, so that's what I'm going to give. I'm not going to lie here, this club was difficult to film. It was quite dark and the in-house lighting didn't do too much to help. The footage kept coming out very grainy, so I apologise in advance for the bad quality. I had to go into this place a few times to get an overall conclusion, but I think I have gathered enough information now for me to create this video and for you to warrant a decision on whether or not it's worth coming. So, Tunnel Club is located on the back end of Walking Street in Pattaya and is a place that attracts a very niche customer base. And you'll be able to identify this by listening to the music and observing the type of customers that come. Depending on what your preferences are in nighttime partying, you'll either love it or hate it. There are a few nightclubs on Walking Street that have hip-hop music as their main genre, but Tunnel Club felt like the purest and most original form of hip-hop. There was a much higher majority of black people in this club as opposed to the other clubs. There was a good balance between white people, black people, Middle Eastern, etc. This place also has a black DJ and a black MC, and in all the times I came here, I noticed a pattern in the way people presented themselves. How they dressed, how they walked, how they talked, and how they danced. A lot of people were wearing hats, sunglasses, baggy jeans. Some walked in that way where they placed their hand near their crotch, and some spoke like they were showing that stereotypical masculine image of trying to seem cool. Even some of the security had a laid back and hip-hoppy feeling to them. I literally saw a guard with his whole head covered in tattoos. People were basically trying to look very hip or trendy. But anyway, this wasn't every customer. There were others that dressed better and looked more approachable. Regarding the type of girls that come here, it will be the type that enjoy this sort of vibe, as well as others who are attracted to the black community. Some of them also wearing hats, piercings, tattoos, sunglasses. Some had dreadlocks or curly hair, etc. The group of girls that were on the tables near the dance floor who had bottles didn't seem to have any of these characteristics, but it's probably because they were incentivized to be here. Now, in all my years of partying on Walking Street, I've never once seen a group of girls buy a Grey Goose vodka bottle, one of the most expensive standard bottles you can buy in these clubs. It was clearly heavily discounted or free for them so that they can stay till closing time. Now, I have brought this up a few times previously, and I'm not going to explain why I don't like this crowd pulling technique because I'm just focusing on what to expect in Tunnel Club. But in a future video, I will explain why. Can you pull a girl for free here? Depending on the situation, you can, but there are better places on Walking Street to do this. If you are trying to find girls who are a little more sexually charged or horny, like a go-go dancers or massage girls, they ain't gonna come here. The club goes through long periods where the music remains at the same tempo and that the beat rhythms aren't punchy enough to maintain their interest or turn them on. This is why I said at the start that it will attract a niche customer base. Only freelancers will come here, but possibly others who find this particularly relaxy vibe appealing. The nature of this music helps to make your mind wander with the music beat whilst continuously dancing. The layout was nice and open, very easy to get to the toilet, very easy to roam around from side to side, and both the DJ booth and dance floor were placed in a spot where you can visibly see the DJ and other people. The VIP sections looked discreet and cozy, and there were spots where you could sit next to the DJ booth whilst looking down at the lower floor. Even though the lighting didn't do anything creative, the roof looked quite aesthetic. Although it looked more like a cage rather than a tunnel, it's something that doesn't really matter in the big scheme of things. One of the downsides to the club is that it doesn't fully start to kick in until the early hours of the morning. I went on Friday nights and arrived at around 3:20 AM and there wasn't a lot of people there. Maybe a few customers, but the rest were just groups of girls that were incentivized to be there. It was around 4:30 AM when it started to pick up, and around 5 AM when it became livelier. Staff and security were super nice, and the prices were competitive for Walking Street. With a membership card, you can get a beer for as low as 160 baht. Front door closes at 6 AM, so in order to leave, you will have to go out the back, which will lead you to a botanicalish sort of area with a nice view of the Pattaya Sea. But I advise everyone who's leaving Tunnel to leave the area swiftly. Don't hang about, because outside the club, around 6 AM, it starts to look slightly dodgy. You will notice a black minority hanging around outside, and they converse in a way that you just don't want to be in the middle of. I believe that the majority of them didn't come from Tunnel Club though. I think they came from Flex Club, which is a place that also caters to the black community. It's located in a more discreet location on the opposite side of the street, and I have been inside it before, but not enough time to create a full video about it. I am in two minds about whether I should create one, because it was quite tricky doing Tunnel. If this video does alright, then okay, I'll consider it. Anyway, every time I left Tunnel Club in the early hours of the morning, there was always a group of these guys bickering or shouting amongst one another, or with a Thai freelancer. But I guess that's normal for everyone on Walking Street. Although looks can be deceiving at a first glance, they generally keep to themselves and, to my knowledge, have behaved appropriately in Pattaya. Nothing will happen regardless, because there are motorcycle drivers around and they will step in or call the police if need be. Nonetheless, it did still feel a bit sketch, and that you really don't want to piss the wrong person off, so just leave. It's good to see that this club exists though, because I have mentioned that Walking Street needs to cater to all nationalities and not just Indians. I think the club will do okay because it's helping to reduce some of the traffic in Mist nightclub, and that it's trying to tap into a demographic that is lacking here. If word keeps spreading, it may reach a point where customers will start to flock in earlier, but at the moment, it has its work cut out for it, because currently, Republic, Mist and iBar are the go-to places. And in all honesty, that was about it. There was nothing else to say about this club. Would I come back? I would need to be in the right mood, or if I was persuaded to go with some girls. The music is quite important to my decision making, and unfortunately, it wasn't my cup of tea here. It's a place that I would only go on a rare occasion, because if I did come regularly, I would get bored very quickly.